Hey, how you going? I apologise for being late. I had issues with my electrical equipment. Anyway, I'm here now. So, hey guys, my name's Waho. I am an intimacy coach, and basically I work with people that struggle with it, and they really want to. They already know that they're a beautiful, powerful being, but there's that incongruency, and then the bullshit that they're telling themselves. And so those are the kind of people I work with. And today I want to really concentrate on our beautiful men in this world, because they are given a lot of grief about their fuck-ups and, stuff that they've done. And for me personally, I'm a mother of four growing men, and there's a reason why I must have been gifted with these boys, even though that personally they put me through the ringer. And they're the behaviour. But today I'm going to concentrate on a relationship, and it's come to an end, and how do men actually truly let go of their past and move forward? Because there's lots of work out there and lots of help for women, and as a woman we're rising up, and we're not taking any shit anymore. We're really standing up for ourselves, and sometimes it can come where we've been crushing men that are maybe in our lives, in our past. And even when it comes to future lover, it's like we're holding on to the past and what another man did to you, and vice versa. And so I just really want to keep it crazy simple, and give some, hope to the men out there that are in the end of their relationship and are sort of struggling to move forward. And so that's what I'm going to today. And men are just, personally, I am surrounded by absolutely beautiful men, but that wasn't always the case for me. I was in a domestic violence relationship a couple of times. Took me a while to learn my lesson, and but I can still stand here, or sit here actually, with hand on heart to say that there are beautiful men out there. And even the men that I have been in relationships with, I can still say that as well, because I left the relationship in a way that was good for me, and I put myself first, and then I looked at my exes differently, and so that's what I want to sort of share today. So it has sort of, that's been the kind of, this week has sort of been the men that I've been having kōreros or talks with, or going through their struggles. It's been the same pattern. So break up of relationship, the wife or girlfriend will no longer let them see the children. They're going through their own trauma. Women, so they're protecting their heart. And then men, when things aren't going their way, they absolutely get really angry and frustrated and pissed off, and obviously it comes as quite angry, and most women don't want to be around that. They've had enough of that shit. And so they basically just cut all ties and left, and generally leave a guy thinking like his world is over. And you'll see the statistics of these lots of suicide, unfortunately, with men, because they think they don't have help out there, and it takes a lot to sort of speak out as a man to say, yeah, this is what's been going on, this is what I need help with, because they obviously don't know. So I'm going to give perspectives from both sides of the coin, just so that both people can sort of acknowledge where they have been and where they are, and vice versa. So within a relationship, a woman generally leaves the relationship emotionally. By the time she walks out the door, she's already made a decision, and she's well and truly gone. Her heart was set on it months before. And when she does walk out that door, a guy's just like, what the hell's happened? They are like, literally, this is a generalization, guys. They are literally, most men are just left there bereft, thinking, what the hell's gone wrong? Like, I thought we were okay. And the women are just shaking their heads going, I gave you so many, I wouldn't say warnings, but I reached out to you. I wanted to get help, and they could list everything that they've done to sort of change that relationship, and still nothing's done, nothing's changed, and a guy's just left there going, missed the whole science, and then they're working their ass off to literally get that relationship back. But by then, emotionally, a woman's already left the relationship, as I said, when she walked out the door. And so what a man will generally do is they'll try their hardest, because they realise that, oh shit, I have stuffed up, I wasn't there for her, and list all his reasons why, but she's already left. And the only reason a woman would come back is because you're emotionally just tugged at her emotional heart strings. Some people use children, like they say things like, well, we're better as a family. And while that, big picture, that would be a beautiful white picket fence scenario, if things weren't healthy in the relationship, kids are just witnessing, relationships how they should not be. And for a woman, everyone wants the perfect scenario of being with the father of their children and vice versa. And so sometimes women do go back and they give it that last go. But all I can say is, once a woman has truly made that decision in her heart and she's walked out and thinking, yeah, that's what I need to do, my personal experience is you need to stick to that, because there's always going to be something. There's a reason why you walked in the first place. And unless the guy has a complete different change of heart, then maybe, but it's the same shit generally repeats itself. Now, I don't want to bash men any further, because I really literally want to give them help, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. For this last week, I've been working with a couple of men that are literally thinking that this is the end, that they couldn't take anymore. And remember, guys don't speak what's really in their heart. Sometimes men will quickly try to change to get a partner to replace that one, and they don't know what they're doing. They just literally, well, I'm attracted to that new woman, I'll just do that. But if you can, I would implore to take some time out, to not go into a new relationship, to really work on what wasn't working in the past relationships and then change that. And even if you take a look back at your past relationships, you'll notice that the kind of women that you've attracted have been very similar in behaviours, and the stuff that hasn't worked in your relationships basically been the same shit, just a different person. So what I want you guys to do is to do practical stuff. And as I said in the post that I posted on my personal profile, that it's generally when guys are busy, they're very focused beings, which is amazing. I love that about men, that they can stay focused and they just shift through things so quickly once they get it. As soon as they get it and acknowledge where they are at, they just change instantly like that, so much quicker than women. We come up with all these stupid scenarios about why things don't work, whereas men are beautiful, how they just move very quickly through it. So like get a pad, literally like this, and draw, you can do this like a exercise book or whatever, but I want you to do, if you have money issues as well, what I did too is I did this with money, is it took me a week just to sort it out, because I never really looked at that. And it is the most freeing thing once you know where your numbers, and once you know where your head's at with your relationships. So basically it's like a budget, but I'm going to get you to call it a behavioural plan. And in this behavioural plan, I want you to have three things. I want you to include your rituals, what you're going to start reading, and also time for reflection. Now, when you do the reflection, it's not where you list everything that that she did in the relationship, or everything that you did wrong, because I wanted you to do it in a way of recognizing and acknowledging where you stuffed up, so that you don't repeat that again, but not in a state where you're beating yourself up and you're telling yourself that, oh God, because I did this is why my whole life is shit right now. So the reflection, writing everything that you may have done wrong, is just so you can recognize where you're at that stage and not repeat that process. So for instance, I spoke to one guy, he realized, he goes, oh, I just get so fixated with work and I'm just concentrating, and my ex she's so jovial and she's always happy to see me when I walk in the door, and she's always like, hey babe, how are you? And I'm like, yeah, not, I suppose, taking that time to acknowledge that she's so excited to see her man at the end of the day, and he's just like, whatever. And he realised that after a long, long time of him not acknowledging that she is truly excited to see him at the end of every day, that along with everything else is just, yeah, a woman are done for. And remember, with most women, it's not one thing, it's a compound of lots and lots of things, and then we just don't deal and we just walk. So I really want to show you from both sides of the coin, so that, you know, men can really see where they can shift and change, so that when they bring in their next partner, that they'll know exactly where they need to be energetically and spiritually, and how to hold space for their woman. So he realized that, and then he just goes, oh, I could have like acknowledged her and been as, you know, and received all of excitement, and vice versa. And then there's obviously, you know, men that have been in abusive relationships, that have been the abuser, and there is help for those. You know, you guys, like, as long as you're acknowledging where your part was and what you did wrong, and that you really want to change things, there is help out there for you. It's government funded. You can choose not to stay in that stuck stage. And then this is what I love to do, is like do a crisscross. So like a crisscross like that, and I want you to write X on one side and you on the other side, okay? You see that? And under the X, under your X, I want you to list everything that she does to piss you off, like everything. And you're like, this is not very positive. Like everything. I'm going to give an example. Okay, I would say things like, she won't let me see my children. I'll just put no children. What else does she do that pisses you off? She's moved on with, so she's got a new man and he's with the children. So you're like listing everything that's pissing, you know, like literally keeps you awake at night. And you'll do that huge list, because writing is actually so therapeutic for you. When you do write with a pen, like put your phone down and literally do it with pen and paper, because it's just the flow of writing, what it does to your brain, and by writing it, it literally lets it go. There's a reason to use pen and paper. So just list everything that you believe that she does that's just, you know, everything that you don't like about her, or like since you've broken up, what's not working. And then from that, and this is the reflection part, is on this side, I want you to truly think about why she doesn't want you to see your children. Now, I'm acknowledging that maybe she's just not a very kind person, and she's using the kids against you, and I'm acknowledging that. But if you can take your feelings out of the picture, and for instance, if you're a real angry person, and I say were because you're working on yourself right now, you could say that she's protecting you from protecting the children from you, or she doesn't believe in what you say anymore because your actions don't match your words. So you could write actions and then question mark, and words, question mark, on here. Now, I know I've spoken to a lot of men, and they are at that angry stage, so they're blaming. This goes for vice versa. So if you're prepared to make a shift and you don't want to be in this feeling of mind fuckery, is what I call it, then you'll do this exercise, because you'll realize that enough's enough. I can't move forward in my life anymore, that I will do this exercise. And by writing everything that she does to piss you off, and by you looking at it from her point of view, taking the emotions out of how you feel, but looking at it from like a different perspective, and just thinking, okay, why do I feel like this? Why am I angry? Well, obviously they're your children, but you know, our children come first. And so you could suggest maybe meeting with a third party. There's all different reasons once you acknowledge I suppose, your part and your responsibility of where the relationship got to this step. And another thing, like most men don't like, is because they're very territorial, I should say. Most men are our protector. when we allowed them in our life. And so when a new man basically comes into the territory, so to speak, most men are like so crazy protective it can turn them loopy. So I'm acknowledging that that's how you may feel at this stage, but a woman has a right to move on, and so do you. So again, take your feelings out of the scenario and look at it from a different point of view, that maybe that man will offer what your old partner, your ex needs right now, that you will not be replaced as a father, but it's just like another person in your children's life that will help them through the process. So basically, it's your choice to get over yourself, and I'm saying this with much love. I'm there to help you so you can understand that vice versa, where most people come from is lots of blame. But I want to teach you a really simple way of how to shift from the feeling that when you do stop at the end of the night and it's time to go to bed, and that's when those whole flood of emotions come up. So do this ritual before you go to bed, at least an hour before. And if you can do it like every night for even 7 days, because I get lots of my clients to do mind dumps, and this is part of the process is to write. So by doing that, you literally are getting it out of your head and onto paper, and it's freeing your mind so that you can have a peaceful sleep. And for me, I do like simple yoga poses as well before I go to bed, these relaxing ones. But I've just started doing ones for high vibes, high energy before I do my videos, or before I've got to do lots and lots of work in front of a computer. So these like 9 different yoga poses that I do that gets my breath work ready for the day. So like simple, crazy yoga poses that anyone can do. Just Google them, what to do, just to relax your mind, because that's what you need to do. So you're going to write and then do these rituals as well, so that you can go to bed and have a peaceful sleep. And the next video I'll teach you sort of how to change your new vision of moving forward, because I suppose you're at a state now where there's no light at the end of the tunnel, but I want to show you in the next video that I do is how to get that light shining so that you do have hope, and that you don't need another woman to replace your old one right now. Is that you just need to heal what was basically thrown up in your face throughout the whole relationship. So if you're ready now to change that, then you'll do these exercises. So I hope that's helped. And until my next video, which will be next week, remember to get yourself grounded, take yourself into the water, into forest walking, gardening, even getting your hands in the dirt will get you grounded so you can practice mindfulness. And I know lots of like men like that play league and just so rough and really. And when I first started talking to them like this, they just laughed and just, yeah. But eventually these men do move through that and want to be these conscious beings and connect with their future partners. So I hope that's helped. If it resonates with you, show it some love, share it. And someone that you might know that's been going through a bit of a rough trot, we need to help our men to move forward so they can connect to their heart space, and so that they can eventually connect to the woman that's meant to be for them. So stay awesome, guys, and I'll see you next week.